Bienvenidos! Welcome to our home, where every day is full of stories, laughs, y familia. I'm Bash. Y yo soy Mila. And this is Bash and Mila.
Today's adventure is called Turtle Mode. It was a bright, bustling Saturday morning, and Bash and Mila had a full day ahead. Important missions only they could handle.
This is gonna be the most epic Saturday ever. Eso dijiste la semana pasada. Yeah, and I was totally right. It was the best day.
Bash burst out the back door, juggling his red toy bucket and jujitsu bag. He had monster trucks to rescue from last night's backyard race and gear to get ready for practice tomorrow.
Okay, first I'll pick up my trucks, and then I'll find my belt. And then maybe I'll build that worm habitat.
Mila stood at the garden steps with her pink watering can and flower-shaped notepad, ready to start her day.
A ver, cuidar las flores, guardar mis zapatos y recoger el castillo que hice ayer. Todo con calma, no hay prisa.
Mila was moving at her own pace. She knew there were flowers waiting for water and toys waiting to be put away, but she had a plan. One thing at a time, nice and steady. Everyone else? They were already zooming through the day like it was a race.
Come on, let's do this. I'm gonna zoom past you like a turbo cheetah. Tú corre si quieres. Yo estoy en modo Tortuga feliz. Turtle mode on a Saturday? Sí, los sábados son perfectos para ir despacito y disfrutando.
Bash blinked, then shrugged and sprinted off. Mila softly smiled and adjusted her watering can. She had things to do, but in her eyes, Saturdays were made for slowing down and soaking it all in. Bash zipped past Mila once, and then again, this time dragging a tangled-up garden hose behind him. But on the third lap, something made him slow down. Mila had already watered the flowers and put away her shoes. Now, she was lying in the grass, arms stretched out wide, watching the clouds float on by.
Mila, what are you doing? Estoy viendo las nubes. Esa parece un delfín volador. ¿Lo puedes ver?
Bash tilted his head and squinted. Mila said she saw a flying dolphin in the clouds. At first, he just spotted a soft gray shape. But the more he looked, the more it started to leap and glide.
A flying dolphin? Maybe. But it also kind of looks like the worm I found this morning. Tal vez necesitas verlo con poquita magia. Look at it with a little bit of magic? Okay, I think I see it now. A veces las nubes cambian solitas si las esperas tantito.
Bash stood there for a few more seconds and gave the sky one last look, just in case the clouds were waiting for the perfect moment to show him something magical.
Okay, Mila, you keep watching the clouds. I'm gonna work on my checklist. Someone's gotta keep things moving. Si las nubes no se apuran, ¿por qué me tengo que apurar yo?
Bash paused for a moment. Mila was right. She wasn't stalling and she wasn't skipping her list. She was just taking her time. And somehow she didn't seem behind. She seemed peaceful. He wandered over to the sandbox, trying to focus. Move fast, finish the list. But without Mila's voice nearby, the morning felt quieter, and his checklist felt longer. Mila sat in the grass, pulling apart her Magna Tile castle one piece at a time, watching as it changed shape from something tall and important to something smaller but familiar.
Bash, mira! Mi castillo se convirtió en la casa de mis abuelos.
Bash sprinted across the yard, his checklist bouncing behind him like a forgotten balloon. He didn't know what he was expecting, maybe another castle or a new tower. But when Mila said it looked like their grandparents' house, he had to see it up close.
Te explico. Esta es la cocina y esta es la sala. Wow, it really does look like their house. Sí, mira, aquí es donde abuelo siempre está arreglando su bicicleta.
Bash leaned in beside her, tilting his head to get a better look. Now that she'd said it, he could totally see it. The little corner where Grandpa kept his bike flipped upside down. Tools scattered nearby, and his favorite band always playing on the Bluetooth speaker.
That's so cool. But shouldn't you be cleaning up? Sí estoy limpiando, pero despacito.
Clean up slowly? Bash didn't totally get it, but he sat beside her anyway, adding a tile to the part that was going to be Grandma's painting room.
Is this the part where Grandma's bookshelf goes with all the art books? Sí, tienes razón. Justo al lado de la mesa.
The tiles clicked into place beside the table they imagined, exactly how Mila pictured it. And for a moment, neither of them said anything. They just kept building, slowly, like they had all the time in the world. Mom stepped outside with a small basket of gardening tools in one hand and a pair of gloves tucked into her back pocket. She had just finished planting a row of flowers along the new fence. Zinnias and cosmos, bright and messy and perfect. She was headed toward the shed when she spotted Bash and Mila, sitting close on the grass, cleaning up the last of the tiles together.
Huh. I don't think I've sat all morning. Maybe you two are onto something.
Just then, Dad stepped down from the porch, rolling up his sleeves.
Sí, yo tampoco. Me la pasé todo el día corriendo y ni sé por qué.
I think I forgot what Saturdays are really for.
They stood still for a moment, just listening. No buzzing, no rushing, just the soft hum of the garden and the sound of Bash and Mila giggling over the lopsided garage they had just built.
Hey, is there room in the Build-A-House Club for one more?
Yeah, can you bring some snacks?
Dad laughed as he strolled over, watermelon with tahini in one hand and cheesy popcorn in the other, his usual mix of salty and sweet.
Aquí vienen las botanas en camino.
Mami, ¿me puedes traer una cobija?
Of course, Mila. One blanket coming right up.
And just like that, the list didn't stop. It simply became more complete, with cloud watching, laughter, and quiet moments that mattered. They lay there in the grass, all four of them, shoulder to shoulder, toes wiggling in the breeze. The Magna Tiles sat in a small, colorful village nearby. The checklist was done enough, and for once, no one was reaching for what came next.
You know, I thought I needed to finish everything today, but planting those flowers and sitting here with you all, that's what ended up being the best part.
Así es. Lo que importa en realidad no siempre está en la lista.
Mila thought about that, about her list, her chores, and about how some of the most important moments weren't written down at all.
Yo creo que el mundo se mueve más despacito cuando nosotros nos movemos despacito.
I think you're right, my Mila Moon. When we move slowly, it's like the whole world takes a deep breath with us.
Even the clouds are starting to move slow. What do you think they look like now, Mila? Creo que se parece al castillo que construimos. Y tiene un dragón durmiendo en el techo. Let me see. A dragon on the roof? Ooh, it took me a minute, but now I think I do see the dragon sleeping on the castle.
The breeze danced through the grass. The clouds drifted on, slow and sure. And for the first time all day, they weren't racing to catch up. They were already exactly where they needed to be.
Maybe I'll build that worm habitat tomorrow. Pero pasito a pasito. Yep, slowly, because it's okay to take my time.
The moon rose and the house grew quiet. It was the kind of quiet that made you feel safe, like someone was holding the day gently in their hands. Bash and Mila curled into their beds, still smelling like sun and grass, their feet still a little dusty from the garden.
You two reminded me today that stillness can be its own kind of magic.
I think Mila was secretly in charge of the whole day. No era un secreto.
Es cierto. Ella nos puso el ritmo a todos. Nuestra tortuguita.
And you followed that rhythm that Mila set, Bash. You could have rushed ahead, but you didn't.
Bash and Mila looked at each other and smiled. Mom gave one last tug to the blankets as Dad turned off the light. Then together, they stepped softly out of the room, and the quiet click of the door behind them echoed like a hush.
Hey, Mila. Dime, Bash. Tomorrow, let's all stop and watch the clouds to our to-do list. Suena como un plan perfecto.
And as Bash closed his eyes and Mila smiled into her blanket, the house finally slowed down. Not forever, just for now. And that was enough. Not every day needs to be busy to be beautiful. Some days are special because of how they feel, not how much we do. And when we stop rushing, we start noticing each other, the sky, and the quiet magic of simply being still.